All right, Plebble, how's it
Right,
going? Not too bad. Loving life on this.
Not too bad. Well, all things considered, not too bad.
Not too bad. This lovely Sunday afternoon.
Could possibly, maybe, perhaps have the Rona.
Perhaps of the Rona. Or as Freddie Lacamaro would say, coronavirus.
Coronavirus, yeah. I feel fine, but the old wifey, less so.
Yeah, she's a bit poorly, isn't she? Bit
Yeah,
of the sniffles.
she's fine, honestly. She's fine.
That's good. Bit of the sniffles, nothing too serious.
Yeah, nothing too bad.
But to be fair, it was bound to happen, considering she worked at the hospital.
Yeah, she works at the place where the dying people go to die slightly less. So you're going to catch a bit of death.
Yeah, that's kind of how that one works.
Yeah.
And you've just watched the video that I sent you during the week, haven't you? About Tom Cruise going absolutely mental at people for not wearing face masks on a film set.
Yep, fair enough. I get it. Should films currently be being made? Perhaps not, because that's like a good 1,000 people in close proximity a day. But it's jobs. It's keeping people active. It's not for me to decide, should I say?
I suppose if they're all wearing face masks and doing what they're supposed to be doing to keep each other safe, then it's not really a problem. But it's when people don't follow rules. That's when you get like Tom Cruise.
Yes, I should probably point out that you are my social bubble, and we are not recording in the same household today.
Yeah, that is. This is very important.
Episode 1 trial of using the old Craig. Using Craig to record. Yeah, you missed that part. Everybody else missed it. We got it. We got treated to the Craig.
You got treated to the Craig. Sounds like he's 6'2", chops trees for a living, and is really good at cuddling.
Me.
That's what he sounds like.
I could cut down a tree.
You're 6'4" though. Don't have a deep enough voice to be Craig.
Hello. Now recording.
Hello, it's me, Craig.
Oh yeah.
Now you just. Why have you all of a sudden gone like all Cockney on me? Sound like you're gonna like punch me through the screen.
It's how I imagine the Craig is.
Yeah. But yeah, Tom Cruise going absolutely wild at people. I was like, right, okay.
He's an artist. He needs to have his outlet, and that his outlet just requires like 2,000 other people. So
he's an absolute dickhead.
Yeah,
the fact that as he's part of the faith of Scientology, isn't he?
Yep, he is part of the Church of Scientology. He's a bit tapped, as it were.
Yeah, because I've watched like a few not documentaries, but I've kind of heard about it and the whole Tom Cruise thing, and it all seems a bit mental. He literally
I think he might have left like semi-recently, because I thought he left so he could see his kids.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Just some news came out about it, or he was thinking of leaving, or.
That makes me like him slightly more now, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
How old are his kids?
Check on the news.
How old are his kids? I didn't even know he had kids.
Why is it that when I search Tom Cruise Scientology, the first thing that comes up is Tom Cruise Scientology girlfriend?
Jesus. Yeah, it's I'll have to find you the podcast, but I think I may have told you about this one before. It's a woman that Joe Rogan had on, and I can't remember what program it was. She was on like quite a well-known American one, and she was part of the Scientology faith, and she quit. She got right to the top, and she's like, right, yeah, this is obviously bollocks. This is all bollocks. I am now leaving. I have to find that one for you. I have to find it out which one it is and send it to you.
I think I know the actress. She was on King of Queens.
That's the one. I couldn't think. Yeah. For some reason, in my head, it was that one that's like 2.5 Men, but not 2.5 Men.
Yeah, fine.
Mum, the faith is here, Callum.
Good press.
Nope. A cult to a religion, the founder has to be dead.
Huh.
That is literally the only difference. The fact that the guy that founded it is now dead, it can now be considered a religion.
So when you die, that means I can start a cult and just say that you started it.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what you're going to call
this. Religion, it's fine.
I don't know what you're going to call this religion.
Keith's a wanker. Let's get together and piss on his grave. How about that?
I suppose the grass will be well watered, won't it? On my grave.
Fertilised.
Well fertilised. A couple of dumper trucks on there. Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah. Lovely, yeah. What else did I send you this week? I a couple of things, didn't I?
Yeah, there are a few bits.
Oh, so that was the
busy
other
a
one.
lot of this week, and then I was dying, so...
Yeah, don't die. It's not good for you.
Just I'll try my best. Yeah, just for you. Okay. I'll try and hold it together.
Don't die, because then I've got to piss about and get another co-host for this, and then I feel guilty.
He's interesting.
I mean, I could, but then if it then takes off after you're dead, I'd feel guilty because think, he was the one holding me back, but we started it together, and the whole boy band predicament. You know what I mean?
Do I go solo for a bit, see how it goes, and come back and ask for forgiveness? Who knows?
Who knows? So yeah, the other thing that I sent you, which I've talked about at work this week, because I think it's an interesting concept, that if you was filthy rich, what would you still either refuse to buy or refuse to spend big money on? More money than you do now.
All right, I've got a follow-up question to this.
Okay.
Like bread, I'm getting Warburton's Toasty forever.
Okay.
Like, because it's the best bread. Fight me.
Okay.
Anybody who buys Kingsmill just decided they can't afford Warburton's.
No, I kind of see where you're coming with that one. Honestly, I go to Co-op and I'll be walking down that aisle. I'll see a loaf of bread. I'll be like, I'll have that one because it's the first one that I saw and it's the easiest one for me to pick up.
Nah, I'm a Warburton's Toasty because I do tend to have toast. It's not often that I just have bread. And even when I do, I like a bit more bread in it. Because the only difference between Toasty and the regular is the thickness of the slices. And Warburton's Blue is just a bit thin.
So is the Toasty one the orange one?
Orange one.
Standard one.
Standard, yeah.
That should be the standard one. Cause that's
Blue is technically the standard, but to me, orange is the way to go. There's also the green one, but you only get like 6 slices because it's extra thick. Green isn't worth it.
Yeah, the green one's the one where it is literally just bricks.
Yep.
At that point, surely it should just say unsliced bread. Just put we've just put 6 loaves in there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, bread. I'm not going to spend a shitload on bread. I still struggle with spending money on clothes. I have no concept of how much clothes cost. Because I shopped at charity shops and Primark for so many years that now someone tries to charge me £20 for a t-shirt and I tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
T-shirts are like 3-4 quid. How dare you try and charge me more?
I get that. One of the ones that I always said, especially if you're living in this country, like a supercar or a hypercar, what is the point? What is the point of buying like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari for like 200 grand? You're never going to be able to like use it to its full capacity. The only time it ever makes sense for me to spend ridiculous money on a car is if it's like a really nice one that you're going to go, oh, this is actually quite comfortable.
Yeah.
At that point,
Lexus,
you're going.
Lexus
Yeah.
they're a comfort car. They're not a supercar. They're a luxury car.
Like a Rolls Royce, a nice Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Even then, I wouldn't.
Strolling through the countryside.
Yeah, but even then, I wouldn't buy a ridiculous amount of cars. I think you'd have like your Rolls Royce, your comfort car, and then you just have like a little like piss about car, wouldn't you? Like a Beetle or something.
Oh yeah. What's your dream car? Because I'm not really into cars, but I've got a couple that I'm like, yeah.
It would have to be. I don't know. I really like the Mustangs for like the late 60s.
Yeah, I was going to say 67 Mustang. 67 Mustang is my go-to.
Yeah.
Something about because I'm not really one for because Mustang is just a Ford brand now, but they were like a proper American muscle car. So like a 67 Mustang for me is my. If money wasn't an object, I'd definitely go for it. VW camper van, just standard. I'd have one of them. Or a Beetle. I'd also have a Beetle. I'm not against a Beetle. It's just the boot space that annoy me.
I think if I were going to get like something like a Beetle, which I probably would if I had money, it'd just be like a little car that I can tinker about with. I've actually, because I know that I'm not going to be working full time. It'd be like let's actually just going to hire someone to actually teach me how this all works and how to take it apart and put it all back together and piss about with it all. I think I'd like to learn that if I got a lot of money. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on like booze, like even with like whiskey and rum. I think the limit there is like 20-30 quid on a bottle.
I'd go up a bit more than that. I'd go up to the 100, maybe at a push 300. Because I watch quite a lot of videos about whiskey, because I'm not really into it, but I find it very interesting. And the thing they say is like you get to a point where you are having to put in way too much money to get anything more out of it. So once you hit like $200, 200 quid, that's the peak of effective money spent. You get to 200 quid, you are getting a lot for your £200. But when you're spending 500, it is not more than twice as good as the £200 one was.
Yeah. It's like people who spend like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pounds on a bottle of wine. I'm like, just nip down to Tesco.
Yeah, it's...
Down to Tesco, they've got some really nice £5 bottles.
I don't like spending shitloads of money on stuff that's just going to get eaten. Like, I am a chef, and I'm not a fussy man. You treat me to a kebab, and I'm happy. I don't care if we're going somewhere really fancy. I'm like, no, it's a temporary enjoyment. Sure, I might remember it if it's real fucking good, but nah, I can't spend excessive amounts of money on food.
Spending excessive amounts of money on nights out. I don't get it.
I've gotten to the point now where I'll pre-drink.
I'll
pre-drink to a comfortable level and try and coast.
Yeah, I think it was on 50 cents or A Rappers a while back. I've been Jay-Z's. I think he spent like 60, 70 grand on a night out. It's like, ridiculous. What are you buying? Liquid gold?
Can't do it.
I don't get it.
I'll drink Warehouse's house vodka. And I don't even like vodka. It's the cheaper option, so I'll have it.
Yeah. And what are the things that you would spend big money on? You wouldn't necessarily spend big money on now because you can't afford it. You would spend big money if you had the money to spend it on.
I would happily, and I've said this time and time again, I would happily live in the woods. Build me a cabin in the woods with high-speed internet. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And if like money is no object, a train to the local city.
Why a train?
So I can nip into town.
Why a train though? Why not just a really nice road that you can get your Range Rover out or your luxury car and sit it back?
I want to drive places. Like, if money is no object, I'm putting no effort into travel.
Oh no, I'm not.
I'd hire a driver. Fine, road and a driver.
I was just about to say, road and a driver. That's fine.
Fine.
To roll up in your Rolls Royce.
Yeah, you get me a real nice cabin in the woods with like books everywhere. It's all exposed wood. I've got like a wood burning fireplace, wood burning stove. Perfect. Nice little garden in the back. Grow some veggies.
I don't think I could do the whole woods thing. Something about the woods that freak me out. Can't see very far, can you? I don't want to live there. I think I'd quite happily buy like a few thousand acres that might have some woodland on it, but I won't live in middle of woods. I'd be like, this is weird. Trees everywhere. Can't see anywhere.
I'd happily live in the woods.
No, it's weird.
Okay, my follow-up question. We have both been very poor at one time or another.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you didn't cheap out on? Like, no matter how poor you are, you do not cheap out
on. It was my phone. Yeah. I cheaped out on my phone.
Yep. No, I did the same.
I mean, even to the point now where my phone bills excess of 50 quid a month.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I use my phone so much. What phone do you have
understand. Now? Galaxy S20, the brand new one.
Okay. I have the iPhone, and I added a feature over the last year or two. It's fascinating in it to a certain degree, but then gets on your nerves. It tells you how long, on average, each day that you've spent on your phone. Mine's always about 5 or 6 hours. It's like, how have I spent that much time on the phone a day?
Recently, and I want to say like past couple of months, mine has increased dramatically. Because it used to be I'd just like me and Becca would be like watching a film or something, and I'd be watching the film. Becca would be on a phone. She'd be playing a game or something as well, which is fine. But I'd like actively be watching the film. And nowadays I'm on my phone a lot more. I'm just chatting to people like constantly.
Yeah. I don't get what
so
I'm
I find
doing.
It will have massively more than doubled.
Yeah. I think the last time it came up, it was about 4.5 hours a day. So, all right, well, I'll listen to maybe an hour or two of music, a podcast or something. and occasionally on Facebook and stuff. I never really message anybody. I think over the last week,
enjoying it.
I think over the last week or so, I think I've messaged you the most. I think I've only messaged you like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, no, I've got like a few people that I'm just talking to constantly now, and it's nice because it reminds me like quite heavily of like being in high school again. Because you remember when you were in high school and you finished school, you went home, and you loaded up MSN or BBM or your messaging service of choice, and you like half of the day was just chatting after school.
Yeah, that's true.
And I miss it because I just lost the ability over time. Like I used to be really good at chatting online, and then just after a little while, I just entirely lost it. I think it's because I got a girlfriend when I was 16, and I dropped out of college. So all of a sudden, I wasn't seeing my friends every day, and she was the only person I was talking to. So after me and her broke up, I just lost all ability to message online. I just couldn't anymore. It's only recently that I've started chatting with people again.
I have lost that ability. I can't hold a conversation online at all.
It's just because I feel like generally people are worried about like when you're chatting with someone, you want to follow on from what they're saying, but chatting online, you don't have to. You can just be like, "Oh, I can see this train of thought has died. Do you want to see this thing I bought and it was dirt cheap? Here it is. Here's a picture. Be happy with it." Like talking online is different than it is. Also, talking via text format, should I say? Because talking online like this, you might as well be sat here.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm trying to think who I consistently talk to on a weekly basis. All their messages. I think it's just you and me, Dad. I think you're only 2 people that are consistently text. I got
nice. I feel so blessed.
A completely different topic. I got a Christmas candle this year again. I love a good Christmas candle. This year,
candle? What smell is it?
This one is Gingerbread House or Gingerbread Man.
Nice. We've had like 3 in the past month, and I've burnt them all to nothing because I forget to blow them out, and then I go to bed.
Yeah, that's not safe.
It's not. You're right. We had a cherry one that was nice. We had a pumpkin one, a pumpkin that was really nice from October that went through fairly quick. Then I got one from Aldi, which is it was cedar, myrrh, and black musk. That was quite nice, but that's one I left on overnight and it was half gone.
Yeah, I think. What did I get last year? I got like a cinnamon one. It was quite nice.
Cinnamon's good, but it's got to be like a sweet cinnamon brown sugar, something like that is fine. But like just cinnamon, it's a little much.
Yeah,
vanilla's really hit and miss because I really like vanilla as a flavor, but as a smell, it can just be like piercing my eyes.
No, I get that. But yeah, I went through a stage where I was getting like candles all the time. Well, not all the time. I get like a different candle each month for some bizarre reason.
I really like candles. Becca doesn't like incense. I quite like incense.
Yeah.
Just makes it a little smoky and you get the really nice smell, but Becca's not into it, so we don't incense.
Not incense, okay. Yeah, love a little gingerbread. Last one. It was £5 from Spider Road. Across from where I used to work. 5 hours, up to 120 hours. So, yeah, enjoying that at the moment. Very Christmassy. I feel like I've got to do the little things like that. Just the little things. It's a bit of a Christmas candle or something to try and get myself in the mood. Christmas spirits.
I decided just to open the rest of my Link's Advent calendar.
I was there while you did it.
Yeah, it was it was getting deodorant, like a small can of deodorant back to back over 2 days that really, really got to me.
Yeah,
so I think it went deodorant, shower gel, deodorant, shower gel. I thought that's ridiculous. That's just not on. Also, a phone cable for a phone that I don't have. That hurt.
Yeah, that's now at work now for me. Keep that at work.
Yep.
Then you had the little phone thing, didn't you? The phone loop or whatever it is.
Yeah, the phone loopy hooky thing that I still haven't used because I'm not going to.
Okay, I might steal that off you then. I might use it on my phone. So I keep seeing
the advent calendar was a nice thought, but it just didn't play out.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had an advent calendar.
I've got one up there, a chocolate one. I've just forgotten about it.
Yeah, it's I forget to get one every year. It's now got to the point now where I've started taking vitamins. That's the point that I've got to do in my life. Yep, that's how old I am. Being sucked in by the vitamins. It should be called. It should be known as the Joe Rogan effect. He always goes on about taking vitamins and shit, doesn't he?
No, I've seen the odd clip, but that's all I've seen of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's got to the point now with Joe Rogan that I really watch the odd one. I kind of know who his guest is.
Yes, that's how I do, because Steve-O's got a podcast now that I quite enjoy.
Is that the one where he's got the van? He's just travelling around in like a podcast van. The podcast van.
Yeah, and it's I'll listen to that when I know the person. He got Demi Lovato a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I can't imagine. If you'd have said to me like 10 years ago, Steve and Demi Lovato sat next to each other, chatting about life, I'd be like,
yeah,
that's a paradox. That is definitely some sort of paradox. There's been a glitch in the Matrix.
I read a fucking newspaper, just the title of the article when I was in co-op the other day, and it was "Mutant Virus Kills Christmas." I was like, well, in any other timeline, that'd be really funny to read.
Is that other? No. Is that other virus now? Isn't there? That's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the one. It's
There's another one that something about that's infecting deers, making zombie.
Oh, that's been happening for ages, and I don't think it's legit. It comes up every now and again. There's a fungus that infects ants and makes them climb up to the top of trees and then explode into spores.
I don't know. That sounds pretty fucking frightening if it's happening to deers.
Yeah, maybe.
Exploding deers. Imagine that, a deer wandering onto middle of the highway and blowing up. You'd absolutely shit your
cordyceps.
Pants.
I think they're called cordyceps, and I think it's vaguely what The Last of Us is based on, because The Last of Us is all zombies, but it's fungal zombies. It's weird.
I never really got into that one. Last of Us.
Neither did
I can't be doing with the whole sneaky game. Not for me.
I can deal with sneaky. I can't deal with having to craft stuff. The only game that I'm happy to craft stuff in is Minecraft. Any other game that just pisses me off. Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind crafting stuff. I did it in Far Cry Primeval. I didn't mind it in that. That was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
But, yeah. I rewatched the first Avengers again the other day on Disney Plus.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not, is it? It's really not. Oh, I remember this coming out and being, it's a really good film, that. And then kind of rewatched it now. I'm like, that is such a basic film. Basic film, basic plot.
When was the last time you watched Thor 1?
I won't watch it. I actually won't watch it.
No, it's not good. And Thor Dark World is worse. Thor Ragnarok, now that's a film.
No, I won't watch the first Thor film is because he's got that weird British accent in it. Thor, he's got he speaks like he's in a fucking Shakespeare play. It's weird.
That's how he speaks in all of them.
No, he doesn't. You watch the first one and then you go to the latest Avengers film, and how he speaks is completely different. I promise you.
Maybe I will.
How he speaks is completely different. The sort of words that he uses and how he says things are completely different. I watched Ragnarok, and yeah, just how he talks and stuff is completely different. It's weird. That kind of evolved it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's not Shakespearean English, kind of. It's hard to explain. You'll know what I mean when you rewatch it. I'm not explaining it right well, as per usual.
Yeah.
I never do. Yeah. First Avengers film, not brilliant. Second one's not great.
No, Infinity War and Endgame are good. Like, there's a lot that goes on. I like those two. But Avengers 1, Avengers 2, just meh. Honestly, most of the first ones. Iron Man 1 is fine.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 is really not good, but Captain America 1, I don't care for it. Ant-Man is okay. Thor 1, not great. I don't
like either of the Ant-Man films.
I like both of them. They're fine.
Not that big on either of them, really. I like Rudd, I think he's really funny, and
all
that jazz. But as far as films goes, I don't think they're that good. I don't like them really. I think they're a bit boring.
No,
don't know why.
I'm the same with Captain America. I don't like war films in general. Like, the only war film that I've ever really, really enjoyed was Rogue One.
Have you ever watched Saving Private Ryan?
Nope. It's kind of something I do want to watch because it's a classic and it deserves a watch.
I absolutely love Saving Private Ryan. I think it mostly comes. Obviously, it's a great film, but at my dad's old house, which years and years ago now, he had a really good TV, but he also had surround sound in his front room with the TV in.
Yeah.
So watching
as every middle-aged father gets, yes.
Yep, but set it up properly, and it was phenomenal. Watching films like Saving Private Ryan, where it's big action sequences and Lord of the Rings and stuff, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was like going to the cinema without going to the cinema. It was brilliant.
So one thing that I'd like, because me and Becca were talking about, when we eventually buy a house, what are the things we want out of it? And I'm like, well, you know, that's... Yes, it was you I was talking to about it. I'm sure it was. That was talking about light guns and arcade games like House of the Dead.
Yep, we were talking about it on the podcast a few weeks ago.
We're talking about that. Well, if we get a garage with that, because this TV here that I'm staring at you on, this one, it's fine, but it's a 1080p. It could do with replacing at some point, but I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna start having a look because 4K TVs aren't that expensive anymore.
Yeah,
but this would probably go in the garage and would have the light guns on it, and also that's the garage is the kind of place where I'd want 2 lazy boys and a drinks fridge and surround sound, a nice little home cinema. That'd be nice.
So, almost like a like a games room, a really good one.
Kind of, yeah. Like a man cave, but for anyone.
Best type of man cave. There's just loads of little things to play around with. Something in there for most people.
Because get like.
Did you? Are you getting the Oculus Rift? Is that you that was on about getting the Oculus Rift?
I'd like one eventually. I'm not in a rush. It's another thing that I'm in no rush to get, but I would like an it's not the Rift. It's the portable one. There's a portable one that you can plug into a PC, but it is also all self-contained. I'd like to give that Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest 2 isn't too expensive.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done any of the VR stuff. I've no idea how good or bad it is.
Once all of this is blown over, which is one of the most British phrases in existence, once all this COVID stuff is blown over, or it's all settled down, we should go to Arcade Club in Bury. Arcade Club is based in a warehouse. You pay 15 quid. There's an entire warehouse floor of arcade machines. And then upstairs, there's a VR section.
Is it over like 3 floors? Yeah. And there's like 2 bars in there. I think I read something about that on Facebook.
It's really good. I've been once or twice now. It's really good.
Yeah. I quite like there to be something like that in Preston. I think he'd do well in Preston.
There
something like
was. That. Nobody went. I went. And I was the only fucker there.
I didn't know existed.
It was called Barcadium. And it was fantastic. You bought a drink, you got 45 minutes. I had the high score on asteroids.
Well done.
Thank you. I had it for 3 days and somebody beat me. Yeah, they had a competition where, if you have a high score on any of the machines that they had by New Year's Eve, at the tick over to New Year's, you won like a crate of beer. But
that's good.
Nobody went. I used to always go on my splits. Like I'd get a Dr. Pepper or something, just play arcade games for 45 minutes. I'd go every day, but they never opened reliably, and nobody else was there.
Okay, I didn't.
I loved it. It was next to Cuckoo's.
Was it?
Yeah, the sign's still up. If you walk past it, the sign's still up there.
I think it'd be good, something like that, but in where we used to work. That's the last one.
Oh,
a massive warehouse like that.
Yeah. There is you remember where it wasn't Staples when you lived here, or as you live here, it was Office Outlet across from Aldi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. It's not like that.
That'd actually be a really good, like, small IKEA. Like a dinky little IKEA, just pick kitchens or bedrooms or something. It'd be fine for that. Or just offices, like officey stuff, like couches and tables and stuff like that. It'd be fine for that. Like a little mini IKEA.
Okay.
But it's been empty for ages now.
It's funny how you look at something and go, oh, that'd be really good as that.
I also think it'd be great as a paintballing arena.
Never been paintballing either.
Neither have I. I'd like to. I think they should merge go-karting with paintball.
Yeah. Never been go-karting either. I imagine that they're both quite painful.
Only if you hit someone.
That's kind of the point in paintballing, isn't it, really? You have to do it for your stag do.
Yeah. Well, me and Becca are going to have a conjoined one. It's going to be a shag do.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Yeah, I probably missed that one.
Why? A stag and a hen do mixed together. Shag do.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I thought you just meant like a massive orgy. Like that. No, I'm all right, thanks. I missed that
Are
one.
you sure you're all right, Keith? I thought it'd be right up your alley, and then it'd be right up your alley.
Right up my alley twice. Jesus. I'll need Jesus. Whatever. I'll show up.
Even if it's just we go to McDonald's and rent out the ball pit, that'd be fun.
Just go to, where is it in town that has a ball pit? It's a nightclub. Is it Levels?
No, it's Switch.
It's Switch.
Did you know Evoke's closed down?
It's probably for the best.
Syphilis rates have dropped. Yeah, apparently during lockdown, one of them, like, no one's been in there. So they're like, oh, well, we did a proper job cleaning up. Nobody needs to be in there. The roof collapsed. The entire place is flooded.
What a grim place that is. Jesus, that is like your stereotypical like nightclub where you go in and it feels like a workout just to walk off the dance floor because your feet are just stuck to the floor.
Like, weirdly, in a way, I enjoyed it because for me, it's what I imagine when I remember what I thought nightclubs were like when I was a kid. Because I was thinking in my head, like when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and like you see nightclubs on TV, and you're like, oh, when I'm 18, I'm going to be dancing all the time. It's like, nah, I'm going to stay in, and I'm going to have a kebab. That's my evening.
Yeah, it's just horrific. I hate them sort of places. I'm sure there were one in Blackburn as well. They're just, I hate them. I actually hate them. When we go on like works, nights out and stuff, and we always tend to go like review. I go, oh, come on, let's go Levels. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh, that's enough for me. I'll go home now. I don't want to go in Levels or Switch.
Nah, I'm kind of the opposite because you'll go out to drink at the pub. I don't do that very often. Like, on average, on a normal year, not this year, because fuck this year, on a normal year, how often would you say you went out? Every other week for at least like a few drinks at a pub?
Yeah, like once or twice a month.
Once or twice a month. That's reasonable. Me, once every couple of months at most. More likely, it's once every 3 months.
Yeah.
So when I go out, I'm fine to stay out till like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, I think it just depends where we're going at that sort of time in the morning. If they said we're going to a warehouse, I'd be like, oh, come on, let's go warehouse. I wouldn't mind it. But it's the fact that they're going to like Levels or Switch or Evoke. I just think the grim in a shit way, where at least warehouse is grim in a great way.
It's grim in a way that the smoking area is good.
Yeah, you go in and you're not the best or the worst at anything.
Yep.
Where else? You're not the weirdest.
Exist.
Yeah. It's got a hell of a variety. Where else? It's like the weird version of 12 tellers.
Yeah.
12 tellers, you go in 12 tellers and you'll see all age ranges. And then you go in warehouse and it's all the same age ranges. It's a lot weirder. So, okay, I can get on with this. I don't mind this too much.
Yeah, I like warehouse. Warehouse is great.
But you do have to do it drunk.
Yeah,
very drunk. Well, yeah, I don't know what it is with like Levels and stuff and Switch. I think I don't like the music. It's the same shit music. Each one. I don't really like, and you have to shout at the person fucking 2 inches away from to hear you.
There is one place that I will go to that is objectively bad, but I will go, and that's Pop World.
Yeah, I like Pop World. I don't mind Potwell because at least the majority of the music you go, oh yeah, I remember this one, or it's from the
going to
early
Potworld
2000s.
is like going to a 2005 school disco.
Yeah, isn't it?
I am more than happy to go to a school disco and listen to S Club 7. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind Potwell. Yeah, Preston's a decent night out. When I lived in Blackburn, there was literally just one place that we used to go. The Last Orders. It was like the combination of warehouse and 12 tellers. The fact that it wasn't very big, a bit dodgy, cheap, and you got on with everyone. It was great. We
used to have a place like that. It was called the Dog and Partridge. It was a metal pub.
Yeah.
So it was a place that just played rock music, and it was a pub. Wasn't a club. It was a pubby pub that had a bar that you go up to and then you'd sit down. It was great. But just over time, it got like poor.
I think the only place that's like it in Preston is probably Ships and Giggles. It's like Ships. It's like Ships and Giggles if Ships and Giggles wasn't aimed at like uni students.
Yeah.
Which was great because we used to go in and it'd be like £1 for a bottle of Carlsberg, Carlin or whatever it was. We could go out with like £30, get smashed, get something to eat, and get a takeaway, and still have change in the morning.
One place that I will happily go to opening night on. I don't care if I get served, but I will happily go to opening night on. Roper Hall. I miss Roper.
I don't know why I miss Roper. I just miss Roper.
It's always the place that I will happily start at.
Yeah.
If people are like, oh, do you fancy going out for a drink? And someone will always inevitably ask, oh, where do you want to start then? Some twat always sells 12 tellers, and I'm like, nah, fuck off. Not doing it. I hate 12 tellers. I'm not doing it. Roper? I'm into it.
I like Plough as well, next door. That's a decent little like.
I had the option to work there, and I have never drunk in there. I have not eaten in there. I have cooked there. I have never had a drink there.
I've never eaten there, but I've drunk there. It's all right. It's decent.
Actually, I've had a pint while I was cleaning down.
Yeah, it were all right. I quite like your place, Crafty Beggars, but it'd be better if it was in town.
Bit out of the way somewhere. For you. Yeah.
Well, it's not out of the way for me. It's a 20-minute walk down Blackpool Road for me. I'm not too bad, but if it was in town, I probably would. It'd do well near Roper and Plough, I think.
I don't know if it would, because it does two things. It does craft beer, which there's a few of those in town now. There's a couple. There's Market Tap. There's a couple. I can't remember the names of them, but there's a few. So it's craft beer, which a few places do, but where it is, there's nowhere nearby that does. And it also does food. And on that road, on Friargate, there's a lot of places that do food. So you're missing out, you're losing out on custom just because they do everything that you do, and there's like 5 other places that also do it. So it's about cornering a market in a place that. Go on.
Get that, but there's nowhere. Like, I won't go into Plough for a couple of craft beers and a pizza. You know what I mean,
fair.
Get that there's like a couple of like fast foods around there and stuff like Grillers and that, but there's nowhere that possibly eating. Maybe Roper.
The thing is that I find it very rare that you go to Preston and you stay in one place. You tend to start somewhere, maybe go to a second one for a couple, and then you end somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And Crafty Beggars is a place that you go and you sit in for maybe 3 or 4 hours. You'll have something to eat, you'll have a few drinks, then you'll go home.
One thing that I didn't realise with your place is how expensive it can be. Because when I came in that time,
like we try to be really open about it, but
yeah, like I came in, I had a pizza. I was like, all right, that's £8 or £9. That's fair enough. That's about right.
Yeah, 10-inch pizza, then, £8-9. It's inoffensive, but
and then 2 beers, and it came to like £20.
Yeah, so generally, it's mostly marked on percentage of the beer. That's where your cost comes from. Like percentage of the beer. To an extent, there's a cost that comes from importing it. Like we had Blue Moon on for a while. Blue Moon is don't know where it's imported from, but it's under Coors. But we import it's an import, so it just is more expensive because it's imported. We only got a small keg of it, and that was like nearly a £5 for a pint. But we also give you the option, like if you want to try something but don't want a full pint of it and don't want to pay like the £5, we do smaller glasses. Like we've got schooners which are inoffensive 2/3. And it is just 2/3 of the cost as opposed to like fannying about making it slightly more expensive than actually getting 2/3. No, it's 2/3 of a pint, and that's how much we charge for it.
Yeah, I didn't mind paying like the £5 or £6 for the pint. I think I got late for work.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that. It was really nice. Went to text you the day after to find out.
We have 3 things that are on all the time. We have Budvar, which is a Czech Budweiser import.
Yep.
That is it's 5%, so it's a little more expensive. I think that's $4.20 a pint. And then there's Prava, which is the equivalent of Foster's or Carling or Carlsberg or anything like that. It's a Pilsner. It is relatively tasteless and it's bubbly. It's 3.2% and it's $3.60 a pint.
I mean, these days, I know that they're not really filming much at the moment, but
films that are coming up that I know of: Multiverse of Madness, which is Doctor Strange, which I'm excited for because it's a horror film. It's not just an action adventure comedy; it's a horror film. It's going to be a 15 at least, I think they said. That's what they're aiming for. They're aiming for a 15. Which is interesting, because like just because it's a comic book film doesn't mean it has to stick to its like action adventure comedy thing. It can be a horror. So I'm excited for that. I'm actually interested. There's Thor 86 or whatever. No, that's the Wonder Woman. The Thor whatever it is. The Thor film that's coming out. That looks fun.
So these are the list of the films that are coming out that I've got up here. So there's the Black Widow film, which isn't really going to be like a superhero.
Don't care. The only reason I care is because of David Harbour.
It's not really going to be a superhero film. It's going to be basically a Mission Impossible film. Eternals.
Yeah.
Which I don't really know that much about.
No, I know literally nothing.
The Eternals, from what I know, are like a type of alien, and basically they have versions of themselves in every world, and they just kind of build up information and stuff. I could be wrong there. They're doing, like you said, the Doctor Strange film. They're doing a Black Panther 2. Apparently,
they're giving it to someone.
Apparently, they're not replacing him. To be fair, from what I've heard,
I thought they were replacing him. I thought they were giving it to his sister.
Yeah, but what I mean is they're not getting an actor to come in and play his role.
Oh, no, yeah, they're giving it to an existing character. They're letting another character take over the role. Take over the role as in take over the title of Black Panther, they're not getting
His
someone
character.
to replace T'Challa. They're passing the torch to his sister, I think they were.
And then they're bringing out another Venom film.
I liked Venom. It was fine. Wasn't good. It was fine.
Yeah. Bringing out another Captain Marvel film, which I honestly couldn't care less about.
I'll watch it.
Another Spider-Man film.
I'm excited for.
I'll probably watch that. Into the Spider-Verse.
That's another Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's.
Which I'll probably watch. That was quite good. I enjoyed that. I watched that.
That was really,
for the first time.
Yeah, 100% solid. I was a little skeptical when the first trailer came out for the original one. I was a little bit like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. But then the film came out. It was literally perfect. Can't fault it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. And they're bringing out another Suicide Squad.
They are. The Suicide Squad.
I don't think I'm going to bother with this one. I don't see the point. They've already
No, you should. You should.
Oh, bollocks to it. Bollocks to it. Fuck it.
No, you should, because it's directed by the same director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Josh Rudd. Is it Josh Rudd? James Rudd?
No. James Gunn.
James Gunn, that's it. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, he's directing it. Because when he got sacked for a slightly risque tweet, slightly, it was off color, but it was years ago. I think he was in his teens. But he's directing Suicide Squad. Because when Disney sacked him, he went over to DC and said, "Let us have a go." And they said, "Yeah, fine."
Yeah, I don't know if I'm overly bothered about that one. I can't think what else is coming out that I might potentially. I'll tell you what I did watch for the first time the other day: the Joker film, the most recent one.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to enjoy it, because I just thought it was going to be kind of just 2 hours of a guy getting shot on horribly. It's just, I don't know. I kind of knew what it was about. I kind of saw the trailers and
I better than you thought it was going to be. It's a lot less edgy than you'd think it'd be.
Yeah,
it's pretty artsy, but it works. It was a good film. I don't feel the need to watch it again. It was good, and I'm done.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more of a guy that was just a normal bloke and just gets trapped like absolute shit to the point where it gets like a screw loose. But it kind of starts off with him already being a bit mental anyway.
Yeah, he has his difficulties to begin with, and then it's shitting on a mentally ill man
to the point where he just fucking snaps.
Yeah, until he shoots Robert De Niro in the goddamn face. Spoilers for Joker, I guess.
It's been out long enough now. Bollocks to that. But yeah, when I saw the trailers and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be my sort of film. And kind of resisted, and finally watched it the other week. Just because I was kind of with it. I'm not going to watch it while people keep bringing it up, because while it's still very much in the forefront, people are going to keep building it up to something that it's going to be impossible for it to live up to.
Yeah.
If I leave it 12, 18 months to the point where nobody's talking about it anymore, I can legit just sit down and watch it and enjoy it and not feel like it's getting built up to something that it's not, and really enjoyed it. I think the one thing that it did really well was it kept most of the suspense, kind of starts off on the suspense and kind of keeps it there for the entire film without feeling like making you feel like something horrific is going to happen to him. It's a bit weird. Yeah. But no, I've really enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to do. Apparently, when it came out, they said that they weren't going to make a second one.
Yeah.
They might potentially make another one.
I'm interested to see what they do with it, because there's things that you can, but I'll be interested to see what they do.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole thing about the Joker isn't the Joker without Batman. The whole reason the Joker exists is to be an antagonist to Batman. And the Joker in some of the comics admits that. He's like, yeah, if Batman didn't happen, then I'd be a normal guy. So there's arguments there, but I think this Joker they have created works without him.
Yeah. No, it totally works. What's he called, the actor? Like, Joaquin Phoenix. I remember him having a strange name, but I can never remember what it is. And in a few things. I forgot that he was in the Gladiator film.
Never seen it.
Have you not? I haven't seen it for a long time. But he's in that. It's a very good film.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I kind of know about him is like he just hates doing interviews. He just hates doing interviews, and he's like dead hard. Well, not dead hard work, but he can be a bit finicky and a bit hard work when it comes to interviewing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of get that if you're doing loads of big films and stuff and doing the press tours and stuff.
Yeah.
Twice a year. I'm going to get fed up with that real quick. But no, the new Spider-Man films. Don't think the Spider-Man films have ever been quite this good. I think the Spider-Man films, they've got it pretty much spot on each time.
All right, so is it Tobey Maguire? Tobey Maguire's original Spider-Man, you know what I mean. Spider-Man early 2000s, Tobey Maguire.
Awful
he does not defeat a villain ever. So let's start. Green Gobbler kills himself. Second one, is it second? No, Sandman's in the third one. Okay, so second one. Who's the villain in that one?
Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus. What does he do?
Kills himself.
He kills himself. All right, third one, Sandman. What does he do?
I have no idea. I've not watched it in about 10 years.
He kills himself. 15. He sacrifices himself for the greater good.
Okay. Yeah. Them films aren't brilliant anyway.
Those films were fine. I enjoyed them because I was a kid at the time. I was perfect age to watch those films. Yep. Then Andrew Garfield came out. I liked those films a lot. Went far too in-depth about his parents. Didn't care for it. But in general, I enjoyed them. These past two, not including Spider-Verse, just going off of Peter Parker ones, they're great. They are really, really good.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is very good as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed him. Be interesting to see. I think the difference between kind of me and you is that you do know a bit more about the Marvel characters and stuff. I know that we've talked about the second Spider-Man before, but just not on the podcast. You kind of went to watch it. It was kind of ruined before you'd watched it all.
It wasn't ruined. It was, for me, I got a lot of entertainment out of how are they doing Mysterio. Because me going in, spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home, I know he's the bad guy. So me going in, I was like, they're doing this really interesting. Because like the build-up is that he's this alien and he's super interesting. I'm like, bullshit. But this is fun to watch. You got to learn about some cool alien guy for a bit. Yeah. I was there knowing it's absolute bollocks.
Yeah. No, I totally didn't. Well, I kind of saw it coming, but there's something there with this character. I don't know what it is. There's going to be some sort of reveal where he's not going to be the character that he's saying that he is. I just don't know what it is or where it is.
It is the best portrayal of Mysterio as well, because Mysterio's whole thing, especially in like the cartoon, was I throw down this cube and holograms happen, and then I fuck with you. That's it. This version of him, where Mysterio, as it were, is a team of animators, is hilarious. I love it. It's so well thought out and well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like just what you said, the way that it is thought out, the way that all the Marvel films, there is something connecting them all. The fact that, like, obviously with that one, it's kind of a Tony Stark fucks me over, spent billions of pounds on this tech, never really saw the potential in it, and then fucks me over for it.
Yep.
And then I'm kind of going to come back 10 years later and just try and get him back, but obviously couldn't at that point because, spoiler, it died. Dead.
Yeah, absolutely solid film. Excited for the next one.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, that's another. I think the first one was absolutely excellent. I've rewatched that recently. The first one still stands up as
second
one
of
the better ones.
Second one just does nothing for a long time.
Yeah, no, the second one, that was good. It just kind of shows how much a film can be improved by a great soundtrack. I think that's massively undervalued or not utilized in a lot of films.
Yep, I fully agree.
The fact that a great soundtrack can make a film so much better. Like, what was the other film? With Leonardo DiCaprio in Leo and oh god, what's it called? I have to Google it because it's not doing me head in. There's another one. It wasn't necessarily like a great film, but it was made a lot better than it would have been because of a great soundtrack.
You're not talking about Inception, are you?
No. I think it's him and her that played Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games.
Oh, not sure.
I will find it now. Give me a second. Jennifer Lawrence, that's what she's called. Jesus. It may take me a minute to find it.
That's fun. I'm just going to pause it there for a minute. We are an hour and 10 minutes in, so that'll be the bit where we need to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to pee.
All right, okay.
It's an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, so the film is called, from what I can get up here, it's actually American Hustle. A great soundtrack. Yeah, not necessarily one of the greatest films ever made, but has a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Doesn't have Leonardo DiCaprio in. I think I got it slightly mixed up with Wolf on Wall Street.
I understand. You're wrong, but I understand.
But yeah, American Hustle, great soundtrack. I remember going to see it in the cinema. It's got like a little soul music and stuff in. Brilliant soundtrack. Okay.
Another film that has a great soundtrack and famously has a great soundtrack is Baby Driver.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of that film. Don't get me wrong, it had some good songs in it, but wasn't really much of a fan of that
film. But the soundtrack was really good.
Yeah. Also has a rapist in it. Kevin Spacey. The fact that he got away with that so long. Actually, this is a question. Because I know that you can't prosecute if it's been a certain amount of time. You can't then prosecute someone for a crime.
Yeah, it's the statute of limitations.
That's what I was thinking of. How long had it been since he led on that boy and tried to touch him up? So I thought it'd been a long time.
I didn't keep track of the Kevin Spacey stuff. I didn't care enough.
No.
Because I'm not a fan of Kevin Spacey by any means. Like, he's been in a few things that I've seen, but I've never gone out of my way for him. So he wasn't someone I cared about enough to keep track of things. I was told, hey, he did a bad thing. And I went, okay, it doesn't really change my perception of him, other than now I care less.
Yeah. Just trying to think of films that I've seen him in. I can't even. The only thing that I can think is that he was in a Call of Duty game, that he did House of Cards.
Yeah, he was also in Horrible Bosses.
Was he? Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
He was one of the horrible bosses.
Okay. I think I might have started watching that, but couldn't get all the way through it. Cringy for me.
Yeah, I get it.
The only thing that I kind of found funny in it was Motherfucker Jones.
Motherfucker Jones.
Yeah. But yeah, I keep. You know what? I'd actually be really good with the Marvel stuff. So I don't know if how many of the comic books they would be able to do it with, but doing in the style of Into the Spideyverse, doing it that as like a TV show, and actually just basing it off the comic books, and kind of using the comic books as a script.
You'd need to pick a storyline, is the issue, because they are doing something kind of like that. They're releasing a series called What If, where it's just, what if everyone was zombies apart from the Hulk?
Actually, I think I've just seen that on. I think I've just seen that.
It's called What If. Yeah.
I think I've literally just seen it on Jennifer Anderson's What film had she been in? I'll be on there anyway. Yeah, that should be interesting.
I can't think of the one. It was It's just a series of what if questions.
Okay.
And then they make an episode based on it.
Imagine that's probably going on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Back to what you were talking about like last week with the Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
The animated Clone Wars TV program, is all of that on Netflix?
It is.
The
only thing that isn't on Netflix is the first Clone Wars that came out was 2D animated. And it was on Cartoon Network because they had the rights at the time. Then, after the 2D series ended, the film came out. It was the first CG animated one. That came out in 2000 and I want to say 6. Then after that, CG animated Clone Wars, the series started. I asked my mate Dan, I was like, Dan, I'm going to watch Clone Wars. Where do I start? Do I start at 2D series or do I start at the film? And he went, the film's not very good. The only thing that happens is Anakin gets a Padawan. Start with the series. And I went, okay, fine.
Okay. So just start with the series.
We're like halfway through season 1 at the minute. Interesting things have happened. Like it already goes into like General Grievous and what's his deal? Is he a robot? No, he's not. He was a great warrior who just was like, yeah, give me robot parts, I'll be even better. That's his whole deal.
So he was a person and then got augmented through what we see in the
He
film.
just kept adding bits and replacing parts.
Okay. Because I, this week, rewatched the newest Terminator film. It's decent.
Oh,
it's okay.
Yes. Which one's that?
So it's the one that...
I saw Genesis.
So it's not Genesis. They brought out another one since then. Basically, it cuts out everyone except... It kind of... What it does is, in the film, last 3 or 4 don't count.
Okay.
So the first 2 count. The one with Sarah Connor and then the one with John Connor. Yep. And the 3rd, 4th, and 5th one, and maybe is there another one after that?
Yes. No. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it.
It's a good film. I'd definitely say watch it. So everyone after the second one doesn't count because technically in the second one, because what they did in the second one changed the future. The last 3 or 4 don't count.
Okay.
And then it goes back to so Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it again. The actress that plays Sarah Connor is in it, and then 2 other actors. It's like 4 of them against
Skynet.
They don't call it. It's not Skynet anymore. They stopped Skynet. That's the point. In the second one, they stopped Skynet from happening.
Yeah.
And it's a different fucking thing
so
now.
It's not Skynet, but it might as well be Skynet.
It's a different version of Skynet.
Yeah.
It stops Skynet from happening, but it alters the future and delays it by however many years. It then becomes a different one. Yeah, it's a good film.
Good.
I think you'd enjoy it.
I just haven't seen Terminator 3. I've seen all the others. I've not seen... I think I might have watched Terminator 3 and just ignored it. But I've seen all the other ones. I like Terminator.
I think the only one that I've not watched is the first one.
First one's good.
Arnold Schwarzenegger for me has always been the good guy. That is how I'm going to keep it.
Apparently, that's part of the reason that Terminator 2 was so good. It's because the trailers didn't give it away. All the trailers did was show Arnie turning up again, and then a policeman trying to get after John Connor. They didn't give it away. So when you saw that film for the first time in the cinema, unless somebody had spoiled it for you, it was brand new. It was brand new. Oh no, Arnie's the good guy this time.
Yeah. I think Terminator films are nothing really like them.
No, they're very
principle.
They're original in the fact that they were one of the first ones to do time travel in a weird way that kind of makes sense. A lot of films have done it since, but they're original in the fact that they kind of did it first-ish.
Yep. I think I mean, I've not seen any other film where it's... Or maybe over the last 4 or 5 years, there's been more in... this person or this thing is a robot that's going to save the day or not save the day. Until then, nothing was really like that, was it? That like, oh, this is a robot that looks like an actual person that can go around killing people. I think there's been a couple since. Lost in a Shell, that was one. It was okay. What was the other one? There was another one. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, I think Ghost in a Shell is based on like...
Oh, it's based on anime. It's not. I think it's probably a manga first, but it's based on anime.
I can't remember what the other one's called. It'll come to me later tonight and I'll text you and go, that's the other film that I mean.
Yeah. Who's in it?
The other one. So the only character person that I can remember is he was one of Ron Weasley's brothers in the Harry Potter films.
Oh, I've no clue then.
I can't remember what any of the actors are called, but the whole premise of the film is that this guy works for a tech firm.
Yep.
And wins a contest to go and meet the big boss. It turns out that the big boss actually lives in like a cabin in the woods type thing. And he has built a realistic robot and kind of wants to see how this robot interacts with someone that isn't him. It gets to the point... Well, I won't spoil it. I'll text you what the film's called. It's an interesting concept. It's a bit weird. It's more of a... It's like a thriller.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'll text you about it. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically... The actor in it is one of Ron Weasley... Plays one of Ron Weasley's brothers in Harry Potter. He also plays... he's also the ginger guy in the new Star Wars films.
Oh. That's a good actor.
No, which guy... You know which guy I mean now, don't you?
I do. General Hux in Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, General Hux. So it was one of the first films that he was in after the Harry Potter films.
Chappie, is it?
Not Chappie, no.
No. Because I've not seen that, so I wouldn't know if it was. It's just the one thing that comes to mind.
Chappie is another one that is a very good film about robots.
Yeah.
That's a completely different concept. That's more of a Neuralink concept, Chappie.
Okay.
It's based in the future, and there's robots, and a guy figures out how to transfer his consciousness over into a robot, basically, and uses like 10 PlayStation 4s to do it.
Fun.
Yeah. And it's all in South Africa. I think it's all in like Johannesburg
I'm
or something
aware.
like.
Because it's got Antwoord in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got them two. I don't want to say weirdos. I don't really have any other description for them. They're both. I don't say they're weird, but they're a bit odd.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got into the film. I think we've talked about them before. They're a bit odd. The only other kind of South Africa film based in South Africa that is worth watching is District 9.
District 9. Do you know how District 9 happened? A director was given a lot of money. Like, he had money thrown at him and was told, "You're making a Halo film. You're turning Halo into a movie." And then Microsoft kept making changes to the script and kept making changes and kept making changes until the producers were like, "Okay, you're not making Halo anymore, but you already have all this money, so do something." And District 9 happened.
Great film.
It's great.
Only film.
It's weird.
A little bit weird, but fantastic film. It's the only film that I've ever watched where I've kind of gone, yeah, I want to sound like that. That's what I want my accent to be.
You know, the South African accent, where it's kind of French, kind of Liverpool. It's just a bit odd. Well, it's odd for us, but it's normal for them.
Just a bit odd, but it is the best accent ever. It's the only accent. I feel like it's possibly the only accent in the world where you could probably get away with saying the word cunt. It'd be totally fine no matter where you are. Yeah. It's a phenomenal accent. I love it. But yeah, I think COVID's been a bit of a bitch with obviously the Marvel films, because I reckon there would have been 2 or 3 more out this year, but obviously all of them have been delayed, aren't they? So actually, you'll know a bit more about this than I will. So the whole X-Men thing.
All right,
did the first lot of X-Men.
Yes.
And they was okay. They were decent films.
Yeah, they were fine.
And then they did the whole, okay, that's run its course now. We're going to go back in time and do it slightly differently.
Yep.
I'm fairly certain I've heard some sort of rumours or something that they're going to bring it in line with the MCU universe. Is that true? What's going on with that?
Yeah. No, 100% that's going to happen.
So they're using the same actors? Or...
I hope not.
Why not?
In fact, I don't think they can. There's too much history. They'd have to time wipe it again, and they're not going to do that.
Okay. So they're going to use completely different actors. Actually, they wouldn't be able to anyway. I don't think they'd be able to
anymore.
Well, I think they've pretty much retired.
To be fair, I think they will definitely keep the ones that were in Deadpool. So Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and anyone else that was in Deadpool, they'll keep them because Deadpool's coming in.
See?
Yep.
That should be interesting. That would have been a very different end battle in Avengers Endgame. Deadpool, though.
Because Deadpool would have been the one to tell Ant-Man to crawl up Thanos' ass and grow big.
Could you imagine that?
Yes.
I think so far, Deadpool is possibly the only superhero franchise film that I have watched. The first one and the second one are both as good as each other, if not one's slightly better than the other. They're both absolutely brilliant films.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yep, Deadpool 2 is great. I like Deadpool.
I think the only thing that kind of has probably not been as good is Spider-Man. Both the films have been brilliant. When you think about any of the other films in the MCU, there's been at least one film that you kind of watch back and you go, yeah, that's a bit shit now.
Yeah, no, there's a few MCU ones when they come out, they're great, and then you think about them.
Yeah, you go back a few years later, you go, no, that's not. No, actually, that's not great. I think Spider-Man and Deadpool are the only two that you could possibly rewatch years and years later and go.
No, I've rewatched Deadpool. Deadpool's fine. Deadpool 2 is still very good. Both the Spider-Man films are good.
Yeah. In regards to X-Men, obviously they won't be able to keep the same actors for Professor X and the other one, just because obviously I think the last lot of films were based in like the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
So obviously if they're bringing it up to date with these ones now, it'll be a lot older.
Well, there was the New Mutants film that came out earlier this year.
Was there?
Yeah, New Mutants. It was I think it started as a Fox one, but then got kind of mushed over. It's essentially an X-Men horror film. It's about mutants in like essentially an asylum. It's fine. It was decent. I enjoyed it, but it was
What's it called?
New Mutant.
No, not heard of it.
Give it a watch. Maisie Williams in it. She's a werewolf.
Maisie Williams, that name rings a bell.
Arya Stark.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was perfectly fun. I enjoyed it. It was very different, but I enjoyed it. You watched The Queen's Gambit, didn't you?
I still haven't watched it, no.
Oh, well, the main character in that, she's in New Mutants.
Okay. Stranger Things, that's the other things that I'm kind of looking forward to the next season coming out.
Yes, I'll happily watch that. There was a trailer recently, wasn't there? Could be mistaken, but I thought there was a trailer.
I don't know, I haven't seen anything. What I've read up, it was next season was supposed to come out in October. Obviously, because
COVID
of
happened.
coronavirus, that dirty disease that you are.
Yeah, that one that I've got.
But you filth bag, dirty disease. Yeah, it was supposed to come out in October, I think. But obviously they couldn't film it or anything. So it's probably going to be next year now. Which is a bit of a bummer. I think that's like kind of the big issue with like films, programs like that obviously are filmed with kids, and obviously kids age a lot quicker than adults.
Yeah.
Don't know how they're gonna kind of fit that in, because
the past couple of years they did more or less come out year for year, didn't they? It was like I think came out Halloween one year, didn't come out Halloween the following year, but came out summer of the year after. So it was like a year and a half.
Yeah, they did it every 18 months
because they kind of aged it up as well. They did skip time enough that it was all right.
Yeah.
They could just do the same again. They could.
By the time this next one comes out, it's going to be like 2 or 3 years. Obviously, it's going to be quite noticeable.
Being the age we are, time has started going quick, and I don't like it.
Get what you mean. I remember as a kid, like you get to like a weekend, and weekends seem to last for like a while.
Yep.
This weekend, think about it. I think I have literally done nothing, and it's Sunday night. Blinked twice. I blinked twice, and it's now Sunday night. What is going on?
Yeah, time's weird. Now it's like it's getting older time passage and also COVID time passage. Because for me, I'm doing nothing during the week. I've got nothing going on. Time just disappears. Suddenly, it's the weekend again.
Yeah. How's your second job going?
I didn't get to start. Should have started on Friday.
Okay. You're still not working.
Yeah,
You've got two
I'll be
jobs.
in on New Year's Eve. I'll be in on New Year's Eve.
Okay, so they're opening for New Year's Eve then.
Yeah. Like, no, they're open currently. You can go and pick up some food if you want to. I just didn't get the chance. I was supposed Friday was going to be my first shift, and then
coronavirus.
Exactly.
Big dosser. Yeah, I've got nothing else to speak about. I'm all marvelled out. I've done all my marvelling for this week, for the last couple of weeks, for the next year.
Yeah.
I've watched all my Marvel films. That's enough for me now for a couple of, until next year, until hopefully start releasing more films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched that Into the Spideyverse.
It's great.
And it's a good film. Fucked myself up with it though, because I thought that it was a TV series. It was only after an hour I was like, "Oh, this is quite long," and then realised it was a film. Fuck!
Great film though.
I watched it like, "Oh, this is a really good TV show." And wonder where this is going to go. It's over and there is no more.
Yep.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Did you notice who played Spider-Man Noir?
No, who did it?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, it's great. Just having a look at the calendar. When are we planning on recording the next one? Because next Sunday's the 27th. So I can probably do the 27th.
Yeah, so can I actually, to be fair.
Yeah, so that's my first release day, so I'm going to go outside and run around a bit first.
Can I come and watch you run around, please? I think that'd be quite funny.
Yeah, I'll run around the park and you can throw a ball at me and I'll...
Just get one of them dog things where you can chuck the ball extra even further for you.
I'll run real fast. Can we get a frisbee? Can we play frisbee, Keith? Please. I'll play frisbees.
Only if you try and catch it in your mouth like a dog.
Of course. Like, how else would I catch it?
You know what?
I've had COVID at that point, so I can't get it again. It's fine.
But I can.
Yeah, but I'll have had it and gotten rid of it.
Okay. And then I can have it and have even longer off over Christmas. But knowing my luck, I'd end up like fucking dying from it or something.
Yeah, you are old.
Yeah, really old. I'm getting greys now, which I know means nothing to you because you've been going grey since you were about 3 years old.
I didn't have hair when I was 3. I only started growing hair at the age of 4. And yes, since I was 4, I've had grey hair.
Well, you couldn't see it at 3 because it was all like grey and just blended into your head. Big melon head.
Shut up. Wind these neck in.
Oh, God. You know what it reminds me of is the scene in Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, when thing he's going to school and he's got like his bald on top.
Yes, Kyle.
Kyle's bald. That's who you remind me of. Kyle Gass. It's old before your time.
Look, I've got hair now. That's what matters.
Yeah. What's this how you've got like a webcam that's good enough for me to see you, just not good enough to pick up all them greys outside of your head?
Right. It's because mine's zoomed out, so you haven't experienced this yet. You don't know how far away my fucking camera is. Boom! How's that?
Yeah, that's
Is that
lovely.
okay? Is that good enough of a camera for you now, dickhead?
No, I still can't see your greys. Come over here. Come over and take camera so I can see your greys. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm lucky enough that all my greys are on the side. My head,
Sorry, it's zoomed in 5 times and you can't quite see what you want to. Shut up.
Show me your grey.
This webcam, when I bought it, was 25 quid. Now, to buy the exact same one on Amazon, it's like 60.
Show me your greys.
No. I dyed them all. I dyed them grey, but shut up.
Oh, God. The fact that I'm now getting greys, I've just shaved them off. Literally just outside of my head. Just gone, all right, I'll just go for a 0 outside now.
Yep.
Zeros outside. Short on top. Lovely doubly. What we like. Oh, right. Do I call it there then? Since I'm just I'm just giving you abuse for being grey before your time.
Yeah, I've done, dickhead. Well, that's the way the cookie climbs the tree, as they say.
I don't think anybody's ever said that before.
No, it's definitely said. It's a common phrase. You're just a knob. All right. Bye-bye, Keith. Bye-bye, Craig. Love you.
Bye, Craig. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.